I've been a long-haul trucker for 12 years now, and in all those miles, nothing ever rattled me the way that night did. It started on a cold November evening, when the highways feel emptier than they should, like the world quietly folds into darkness the moment the sun dips below the tree lines. I was running a late delivery across state lines, the kind where the road is so empty you start to feel like the last person alive. Around 2:15 a.m., the highway stretched in complete silence. No headlights, no tail lights, no life. Then I saw him, a man standing on the shoulder, right at the edge of my high beams. He wasn't waving me down or signaling for help. He wasn't even moving. He was just staring at my truck like he had been waiting for me specifically. His face was pale, almost gray, and he wore a torn, reflective jacket covered in dirt and dried oil. As I passed him, he slowly lifted his arm and pointed directly at my front tires. I kept driving. I wasn't stupid enough to stop for strangers in the middle of the night. But then things got strange. A few minutes later, I checked my mirror and nearly slammed on the brakes. He was there, the same man, standing on the shoulder, again much closer this time, inches from the road, staring at my truck like he'd been teleported ahead of me. How? I whispered, my hands suddenly shaking. I forced myself to believe it was another person, someone who just looked similar. But 10 minutes later, I looked again. There he was. Same jacket, same oil stains, same dead expression. This time, he was smiling. I pushed the speed up to 80. The trailer rattled behind me, diesel groaning like it was begging me to slow down, but I wasn't taking any chances. Eventually, I found a rest stop and pulled in hard, parking under the brightest lamp there was. I jumped out and checked the truck, especially the front tires. My blood froze. A long, deep slice ran across the rubber forest, sharp, intentional, but the tires hadn't blown yet. Someone, or something, had cut them earlier, expecting me to stop on the highway like a trap. I looked around the empty rest stop. The air felt heavy and wrong. I backed toward the truck, knife in hand. Then, bang, something slammed against the back of the trailer. The metal boomed like a hammer strike. Another bang, closer, louder. I climbed into the cab, locked the doors, and checked the mirrors. And there he was, standing directly behind the trailer, head tilted back, staring into the camera, smiling wide and impossibly still. I floored the truck. The tires screamed but held. I didn't stop until sunrise. And when I checked the mirrors, again the man was gone. People say truck stops are dangerous, but sometimes it isn't people you need to fear. Sometimes the dead still traveled the highway. If you want more stories like this, make sure you like and subscribe before someone else decides to follow you home. I was hauling frozen goods across state lines, the kind of route that keeps you awake with cheap coffee and a stiff spine. It was around 1:45 a.m. when the fog rolled in thick enough to swallow your headlights whole. That's when I noticed it. A pair of faint, low headlights trailing behind my trailer. A small white sedan, old, dented, with those square police-style bumpers. At first I thought nothing of it. You see strange cars all the time, but this one didn't act normal. It stayed exactly in my blind spot. No matter how fast or slow I went, it matched me perfectly. Too close, too quiet, too intentional. After 15 miles, I switched lanes. It switched to. After 20, I slowed down. It slowed too. After 30, I sped up. It did the same. No one drives like that on accident. Eventually, I reached an empty truck stop, the kind with flickering lights and vending machines that probably haven't been restocked since 2007. I pulled in, and the sedan followed, creeping closer, closer, until it stopped behind my trailer, where I couldn't see the driver. My heart hammered. Something felt wrong. I stepped out slowly, knife clipped to my belt. The instant my door slammed, the sedan reversed, swung around, and vanished into the dark. I stood there breathing hard, staring at the empty entrance, half convinced it would return. I checked the trailer, made sure everything was locked, then crawled into the cab for a short rest. I must have drifted off, because the next thing I heard was a metal crack so loud it shook the truck. I jolted awake, grabbed my knife, and checked the mirrors. The white sedan was back, no headlights, engine silent, parked at the very edge of the shadows. And beside my trailer, A man, tall, thin, dragging something metallic across my back doors. Scrop, scrop, scrop. I leaned low and peeked under the trailer. 2 legs, black boots, standing so close to the lock that I saw small flakes of metal falling onto the pavement. He was cutting it open. I shouted, voice shaking, "Hey, back off." The man froze. Then he ran fast, jumped into the sedan, and peeled out of the lot so violently the tires screamed across the concrete. When I checked the lock, my stomach dropped. Deep cuts, fresh metal dust. He was seconds away from opening the doors. But the worst part, my trailer was empty. He wasn't trying to steal food. He was trying to see if I was inside. I drove the rest of the night with every mirror angled perfectly. Every shadow felt like it was hiding a pair of headlights. Some people think the scariest part of trucking is the long, lonely road. But trust me, it's the people who follow you into the dark that you should really fear. If this story shook you, hit like and subscribe before the wrong car decides to trail behind you next.